Following another set of criminal indictments earlier this year, a new report by the state auditor has just revealed over $94 million in questionable spending used on items like cars and lobbyists. This money, meant to help poor Mississippians, was instead used to buy luxury cars, sponsor a college baseball tournament, and hire family members of a top state official. This 104-page audit of the Mississippi Department of Human Services released Monday shows how federal welfare grant funds flowed from the Department of Human Services into two nonprofits, which then frequently spent the cash in inappropriate or suspicious ways. More than $94 million in welfare money spending was questioned by auditors, according to the report, alleging either outright misspending or lack of documentation showing it was spent properly. The same article goes on to include a statement given by the state auditor who said that the report shows the most egregious misspending my staff have seen in their careers at the office of the state auditor. He added that if there was a way to misspend money, it seems the Department of Human Services leadership or their grantees thought of it and tried it. So this newly released audit of the Mississippi Department of Human Services is just the latest major update in one of many state-level investigations we've been following on this channel. As for this particular case, in February of this year, Mississippi's ex-welfare director, along with 5 others, were arrested as part of this massive fraud. Photo here of those arrested back in February, provided by the county sheriff's office. Clockwise, starting top left, is John Davis, then Nancy New, along with her son Zach New, then Latimer Smith, Ann McGrew, and former wrestler Brett DiBiase. The state auditor in February calling this the largest public embezzlement case in state history. At the time of the arrests, the state auditor said, quote, "The funds that were illegally obtained in this case were intended to help the poorest among us. The funds were instead taken by a group of influential people for their own benefit, and the scheme is massive. It ends today." So once again, although this case has been escalating for months, the extent of this misspending and lack of controls detailed in Monday's audit was not previously known. In addition, this article points out that the audit shows for the first time how a second nonprofit, the Family Resource Center of North Mississippi, or FRC, also made questionable or inappropriate expenditures using welfare cash. According to the audit, the spending was possible because Davis limited outside monitoring of the welfare grants and controlled much of the money himself. In addition, auditors said they found forged documents, a limited or non-existent process for vetting contracts, fraudulent accounting, and more. White said that his office will forward the findings to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, which oversees the welfare program. Depending on what the feds view as misspending, White said, this could lead to cuts in future TANF allotments or other sanctions placed on the state. Among the audit's questioned spending, first, the 2 nonprofits used welfare money to hire lobbyists, often without paperwork describing the work they were supposed to do. Also, the MCEC gave contracts to and hired family members of Davis, sometimes making lump sum payments. The payments and salaries to his nephew and brother-in-law totaled more than $1 million over the last several years. And, as previously reported, both nonprofits gave welfare money to a trio of wrestlers, some of it for work never performed, some for unreasonable travel costs. Additionally, the Mississippi Community Education Center paid Victory Sports Foundation with welfare money to run fitness programs, some of which Mississippi legislators and other officials or staffers participated in free of charge. The trainer who runs Victory has said that he did not know he was receiving welfare money from the nonprofit. The Mississippi Community Education Center bought 3 cars with the welfare money, each worth more than $50,000 for New and 2 sons. Salaries, cell phones, and other expenses were also paid using welfare money. In each case, the vehicle was registered to the MCEC, but in each case, auditors said that the vehicles were for personal use. Moreover, the MCEC used welfare money for sports-related purposes, including sponsoring a college baseball tournament and other NCAA events. The MCEC cut a $3,000 check to a bookkeeper of the MCEC, though a handwritten note says that $3,000 cash was given to Davis, the DHS executive director. Finally, they point out how the MCEC moved $6 million to a private school and organization run by New and bought supplies for the school. Department of Human Services Executive Director Bob Anderson, appointed in March, said Monday the agency has begun the process to hire an outside accounting firm and conduct its own forensic audit. The new leader brings a track record of investigating and litigating white-collar crime in state government. Quote, the single audit report released today clearly demonstrates the amount of damage and coercion perpetrated by John Davis against this agency and the people of Mississippi, Anderson said in a statement, adding, quote, this audit, while covering multiple years, still makes it obvious that we need a complete forensic audit to look at all aspects of the agency so we can move forward and put the past behind us. A statement from the Department of Human Services said agency leaders dating back to the departure of Davis made significant efforts to clean up the agency by implementing more internal controls and transparency measures. They include a rewritten state TANF plan overseeing welfare contracts, more monitoring of specific programs, and additional reporting by recipients of DHS funds. White said additional indictments could be coming in the separate criminal case. Federal investigators, including the FBI, are now involved. This audit should be a wake-up call to everyone in government, White said. The old way of doing things, where you do whatever your boss or a person who controls a lot of money tells you to do, or you ignore the law around how to spend money because you think no one is looking, those days are over. A few more key details on what we know so far in this case in a second article from the Daily Leader. They point out how at one point the Mississippi Community Education Center paid a speeding ticket for Nancy New with TANF funds. The MCEC paid a variety of consultants, including Jess New, for no clear deliverables or where there was no proof the spending met TANF requirements. Also, Zach New took out a loan against his MCEC retirement plan and repaid the loan with TANF money. The Mississippi Community Education Center also paid excessive rent well above market value to a holding company owned by Zach and Nancy New. Sometimes the rent paid for spaces that were not used for TANF-related purposes. A couple more important quotes included in this article from the state auditor, who said the DHS staff should immediately move to seize any property that was purchased by grantees with taxpayer money, as that property belongs to the taxpayers. That property does not belong to the auditor's office, so we cannot do this for them, but it should be marked as DHS property, and DHS should use their legal authority and move quickly to seize it. The audit also suggested DHS conduct an internal investigation into current and former DHS staff who may have played a role in the fraud. Please leave a comment and tell me what you think about this recent update. If you could give this video a thumbs up, click the like button, that's greatly appreciated, and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. As usual, I'd like to thank everybody that has been sharing these videos and sharing the channel with others to help get the information out there. Also, down in the video description are links to my Patreon or PayPal accounts where you can support this channel directly. Thanks everybody who has contributed. Even a few dollars makes a huge difference, helps me keep talking about these issues. Both links down in the video description, patreon.com/realityreader or paypal.me/realityreader. And another reminder, you can also follow me on Twitter for more updates. Reality Reader, my name over there on Twitter. I will follow up soon. Thanks again.